Hola, hello everybody. Welcome to this webinar, Intro to Spanish, and thank you for joining me today. I hope we make a lot of this. First of all, I'd like to introduce myself. I'll do it in English and we'll start with Spanish in a minute. Remember that you can use the live feed to comment, ask questions, just use it to communicate with me. So my name is Jorge Civit. I was born and raised in Madrid, Spain. That's where I live now. I started teaching in 2003 and I've worked and lived in different countries to teach Spanish. I was in Germany for 4 years. I lived in Berlin, a great city. I don't know if there's anybody from Berlin here. And then I lived in Japan for 10 years. I just returned to Spain almost a year ago. I used to live in Shizuoka. Hola Jan, ¿qué tal? Hola Darren. So if you have any questions, please ask any questions about me. My hobbies, I love languages, teaching Spanish of course, and reading Spanish. I also speak English, Japanese, and German. I love studying languages. I've recently started to learn Mandarin Chinese, but I just know a few words. I love reading in any language. And is there anything you would like to know about me, please leave your comment in the live feed before we start the webinar. I see right here. Hi. Hi, Leo. My favorite country to go. Well, I love to go everywhere, but one of my favorite places was Poland when I traveled there because I was surprised with how nice the people were there. And of course, while I was in Japan, I travel around Japan a lot, and it's an incredible country. I'd love to go to more countries in Asia, but I haven't had the opportunity yet. I hope that I can go soon. Are there any more questions there? Hi, Darina. Darina, I see Darina there, and Laura. Hi, Laura. And Amy, and Ismail. Okay. I suppose that you all like to speak languages also. How did you find about Italki? Well, the first time I read about Italki, I think it was in a blog. I don't remember because I read a lot of blogs about languages, but it was on a blog when I was already teaching. And I was teaching online already by myself, but then I tried Italki. I took some lessons to practice my English, and I loved it. So I applied to become an Italki Spanish teacher, and I have to say that it's a great experience. Both parts, learning on Italki and teaching on Italki. Jan, ¿te gustan los idiomas? Ya veo que hablas un poco de español. Pues espero que hoy aprendas un poquito más. ¿Dónde has aprendido? Jim, how long I have been teaching on Italki? I think for a year and a half now. I started teaching while I was in Japan, and I have never stopped. I love my students on Italki. It's a super easy way to find new people to practice and, of course, learn languages. Very easy. It's a great system. Hi, Nurmala. Hola, encantado. Hola, Julia. So you're in Taiwan and living in Japan. So you're in Madrid. I'm in Madrid too. Are you going to a language school, or how are you learning? Are you learning on Italki already? Okay. So while you can, Jan, you're learning Italki. That's great. It's great, isn't it? So I was going to say, while we go, you can ask some more questions. I'm going to introduce what we're going to learn today. So today we'll practice some Spanish greetings, very basic Spanish greetings. We'll also practice how to say our names, as well as to ask someone else's names. We'll also practice how to say our nationality and also ask others. We'll learn a little bit of verb conjugation, of verb ser, and then we'll see how some Spanish words have gender and different forms for the gender. And also, while we go, I'll try to introduce some pronunciation for things that may be difficult for people who have never read in Spanish. Hola Mary, así que eres de los Estados Unidos y vives en Inglaterra. Encantado. I love that there's people from everywhere in the world here. So one more time, just remember that anytime you can ask questions. I will be checking the comment section on the live feed, on this live video, and you can ask as I'm explaining, even if you remember later, if you want me to introduce something else. So please remember to ask questions. And one more thing that I want to tell you is that everything that you hear me introduce in Spanish, I recommend you to try and repeat it. Even if you are alone by yourself, just try to repeat it. So you don't end just listening and reading. So you have to practice. Get some practice for your mouth also. Okay? So we're going to start with the first greeting. And many people will know this. This is hola. Hola. Hola a todos. Y os voy a pedir que todos vosotros también practiquéis y escribáis hola en los comentarios. So everybody, say hello in Spanish in the live feed so I know that you're there and that you're already practicing. Say hola. Write hola in the comments. Hola Jan. Hola Mike from Italy. Nice to meet you. Hola Emma. Hola Leo. Hola a todos. Hola Cecile. Hola Mary. Wellington. Hola. Nurmala. Hola. Luis. Hola. Lucine. I hope I pronounced this well. Hola. Hola Joe. Hola. So while you keep saying hola, remember, hola Cedric, remember that we don't pronounce that H in Spanish. So whenever you see this here, you're going to read it as if there was no H there. So you'll pronounce A, E, I, O, U, just as the vowels in Spanish. A, E, I, O, U. Try to repeat. A, E, I, O, U. Hola Eustaquio. Hola Laura. Hola Alan. Raed. Hola. Gracias a todos. Hola. Cedric, remember that we don't pronounce the H, but we have to write the H. So even if you hear hola without H, please write the H. Yes, Luis, that's it. A, E, I, O, U. We want to learn some more greetings now. So we have hola, we have buenos días. Buenos días. Hola Estela, de Argentina, bienvenida. Buenos días is what we say in the morning. When we get up, when we meet people in the morning, we say buenos días. Try to repeat it by yourself. Buenos días. Then we have buenas tardes. Buenas tardes. That's what we say in the afternoon and in the early evening also. So we have buenos días, buenas tardes, and buenas noches. What we say in the late evening and at night, even before we go to bed, we can say buenas noches. So we have these three: buenos días, buenas tardes, buenas noches. So please tell me in the comments, there where you are, what would you say right now? How would you greet me? Would you say buenos días, buenas tardes, buenas noches? Please write it on the comments feed. Buenas noches. And for Emma, buenas noches. For Joe, buenos días. Where are you guys? Buenas noches. Hola, Sara, in Switzerland. What would you say, Sara? Buenos días, buenas tardes, or buenas noches in Switzerland? Hola, Eustaquio. What would you say? Cedric, for you, buenos días. You're in the morning. In Madrid, it's still 12. Even if it's a little bit, we're at noon or in the afternoon, we'd still say buenos días until it's time to eat. So until 2 o'clock, around 2 o'clock, we would say buenos días. Jan, buenos días. Buenos días. Please tell me, regarding where you are, buenos días, buenas tardes, or buenas noches. Comment. Okay, let me know what would you say right now. So one more thing. Me llamo Jorge. Me llamo Jorge. That's how we say our name. Me llamo Jorge. Remember, we pronounce that double L as ya. So we say ya, ye, ji, yo, you. Joe, it's buenos días for you. You need coffee. Yes, in the morning, café. Buenos días for Luis, for Asma. Buenos días also. Raed, buenos días. Sara, también buenos días. Is that in Italian? Buenos días. And Luis. Hola Luis. Muy bien. Me llamo Jorge. So remember, pronounce that double L. Ya. Okay? Ya, ye, ji, yo, you. Me llamo Jorge. When you want to ask somebody's name, then you will say, ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas? So now it's your time. ¿Cómo te llamas? Write your name. ¿Cómo te llamas? But use Spanish. Remember how you should write. Me llamo. Very well, Eustaquio. Me llamo Eustaquio. Sarah, the tone when you pronounce ya, ye, ji, is just behind your upper teeth. Ja. but you have to close your teeth. So actually the tongue is also near the teeth down there, but you have to stick it up to your palate, up there. Ja. So I'm putting it just behind here. Ja. Very nice, those comments. Me llamo Jan. Yes, Mary. It's very typical to pronounce the double L just as we pronounce Y. Especially in Spain, there used to be that difference, but it's almost completely lost. So we will pronounce both of them in the same way. We'll see in a minute another word that's written with Y, and we pronounce it in the same way. Yes. Cecil, me llamo Cecil, I can read. Me llamo Lucin, me llamo Raed, me llamo Joe, me llamo Asma. Very nice. Thank you for commenting. Please tell me your name. So, me llamo Jorge. Me llamo Jorge. Soy español. Soy español. We have another interesting thing here. This letter, which is called ñ in Spanish, and it's pronounced like this: ña, ñe, ñi, ño, ñu. Actually, the position of the tongue is very similar to the position where we pronounce the double L, ja, ja. So it's like pronouncing an N, na, ne, but putting your tongue, sticking your tongue to the top, and it's a very nasal sound. Ña, ñe, ñi, ño, ñu. Try to repeat it. Very nice, Sara. Me llamo Sara. Okay, so this is the sound. Soy español. Do you already know what soy means? So, soy is what I'm saying, meaning yo soy, which means I am. See how, in this case, the Y is pronounced like the double L. Yo, yo. Me llamo, and yo has the same sound. Buenas noches, Laura. Buenas noches. My pleasure, Sarah. If you have any questions, write a comment, okay? So, yo soy is actually the verb, and yo is the personal pronoun that I use to refer to myself. Yo, okay? And the pronoun that I use to refer to somebody else whom I'm talking to, it's tú. So I'll refer to you using tú. Tú. Yo, tú. Practice this yourself. Try pronouncing yo, tú. Then, for somebody else, we will use él if it's a male, a boy, a man. Él, okay, él, yo, tú, él. And we would use ella if it's a female, a woman, okay? So we will have yo, tú, ella in this case. Yo and tú don't change. Even if you're a man, you're a woman, it's the same. But ella is used for women, and él is used for men. Okay? So yo, tú, él, or ella. And I say that for yo, we say yo soy, meaning I am. When we have other subjects, the verb changes. This is what we call conjugation in Spanish. So if you're referring to yourself, you say yo soy. For example, yo soy Jorge. If I'm speaking to Sara, I will say Tú eres Sara. Tú eres Sara. If I'm speaking to Sara but talking, for example, about Sara, I would say, ella es Sara. Sorry, about Laura, I would say, ella es Laura. Ella es Laura. And if I'm talking about Joe, I would say, él es Joe. Okay? Yo soy Jorge, tú eres Sara, él es Joe, ella es Laura. Okay? Try to remember this. Yo soy, tú eres, él es. It's the same as ella es. It's good to repeat it. Yo soy, tú eres, ella es. And it's good to write it. So if you want to comment this conjugation, go ahead and write it. Okay? So I was saying that I would use yo soy to say I am. We could say other things. Soy Jorge, for example, but also soy español. Soy español. Soy español. I'm Spanish. I come from Spain, España. Soy español. But if we're talking about other people, as I just said, we will change the verb. So, for example, él es Antonio. Or, for example, Antonio es español. Yo soy español. Él es español. Jan, yo soy, muy bien. Soy Leo. Soy Leo. Muy bien, Leo. We will pronounce Leo in Spanish. Jan, soy polaco. Muy bien, soy polaco. Okay, Giselle, we'll go around the strong R sound at the end because we have question and answer, and we'll practice a little bit. So we don't need it right now because we don't have like a strong R sound, but we'll definitely practice it. Let me continue with ella. Ella es Ana. Ella es Ana. And we could also say Ana es española. Ana es española. Or for example, we could also say él es Mario. Él es Mario. Él es Mario. And for example, Mario es italiano. Mario es italiano. Ella es Laura. Here's Laura. In Spanish, we pronounce Laura. Have you noticed that we pronounce almost all vowels in the same way? A, E, I, O, U. Laura es italiana. Laura es italiana. And very important, have you noticed that I use two different adjectives to speak about men? I would say español. Antonio es español. But in the case of a girl, I would say Ana es española. And when I was speaking about them, I said él es italiano. Él es italiano. And ella es italiana. So we have masculine or feminine, depending of the person. Normally, the masculine has an O at the end, like italiano, and the feminine has an A at the end. But there are other adjectives that end in a consonant, like español, and then the feminine one ends in A, española. You can see some of them here, like, for example, someone from Italy, from Italia. If it's a guy, he will say italiano. If it's a girl, she would say Italiana. Someone from Korea, in Spanish, Korea. If it's a boy, then he will say coreano. If it's a girl, say coreana. The difference between L and L. L with an accent and L without an accent. Yeah, that's a good question. So L, excuse me, with an accent is a personal pronoun. We have seen it here. Like Él es Mario. Did you notice that this L has an accent? But if you have L without this accent, it's the article. It's like saying in English the. Okay, we don't have a word here with the article, but you could use it with any noun. For example, in Spanish, dog, it's perro. If you wanted to say the dog, then we will say el perro. El perro. And el, with the accent, is he. El. Okay, that's the only difference. So the sound is the same, but they have different meaning. Laura, the difference between Spanish in Spain and in Colombia. Well, there are some differences in pronunciation, of course, as well in some words, not many, and of course in slang. Slang is very different depending on the country. There is also some difference in the way we address people, because in Spanish we have two ways of addressing somebody. One of them is tú, the one we learn, and the other one is usted. And in most parts of Spain, we usually use tú for everybody we already know, and we'll use usted for new people, somebody we don't know very well, while in most parts of Central America and South America, they will use usted even for people they already know. So usted is much more used. That's the main difference. But if you learn Spanish in Colombia, everybody will understand you in Spain, and the other way around. If you learn Spanish in Spain, everybody will understand you in Colombia. So that's normally not a problem. Okay? Laura, good. Soy Laura, with the Spanish pronunciation. So these are some adjectives to say where you are from. Italiano, italiana, australiano, australiana, egipcio, egipcia. As I told you, the ones down there, like español, don't have an O at the end, but the feminine form, española, has an A there, like alemán, alemana, portugués, portuguesa. And this box here has adjectives that don't change. Adjectives that end in another vowel, like A, like Vietnamita, they won't change. You have Vietnamita, Vietnamita, Belga, Belga. And if they end on E, also Canadiense, Canadiense. On an I, Marroquí, Marroquí. No change, okay? So now's the time when I want to ask you, ¿de dónde eres? ¿De dónde eres? Please write in the comments, where are you from? I've seen that somebody already wrote that, like Luis, yo soy holandés. 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 If it's a man, we will say holandés. If it's a woman, we will say holandesa. I'm going to write this here. Holandés and holandesa. Soy de Polonia, Jan. Then you will say soy polaco, while a girl will say soy polaca. Estadounidense. Muy bien, Joe. Soy estadounidense. In this case, both a man and a woman will be the same, estadounidense. Él es estadounidense, ella es estadounidense. Luis, I was thinking, I cannot see your picture, but I thought that's a woman's name, so yo soy holandesa. Yo soy holandesa. Muy bien. In this case, the masculine form has an accent, while the feminine doesn't have that, okay? Like, yo soy holandesa. Muy bien, yo soy holandesa. Yo sé, soy estadounidense. Soy de Polonia, soy polaco, ¿verdad? From Switzerland, we have somebody from Switzerland. They will, a man will say, soy suizo, while a woman will say, soy suiza. Soy suizo, soy suiza. Everybody, can you tell me where you're from? Leo, soy chino. Very well, soy chino. A man will say, soy chino. A woman will say, soy china. Soy china. Anybody more? Giselle, where are you from? Write that in Spanish. Soy Thai, okay, from Tailandia. Soy tailandés, if you're a man. Soy tailandesa, if you're a woman. De Siria, Asmas, thank you. De Siria, pues, a woman, soy Siria. A man will be soy Sirio, okay? Sirio and Syria. Just as the name for the country. Soy Sirio, soy Siria. Soy tailandés, soy tailandesa. Soy tailandés, soy tailandesa. Soy, if you know how to say the adjective or the name for your country, just let me know. Okay, now we're going to do something nice. We're going to learn how to ask somebody else nationality. So if we want to ask about somebody, we'll say, ¿de dónde es? ¿De dónde es? Okay, so I want you to pick a person on the live feed and tell me where she or he is from. Okay, pick a person. Sara, soy italo-suiza. Sí, es correcto. Soy italo-suiza. Puedes especificar. Puedes decir, soy suiza, pero también soy italo-suiza. You can say both of them. Mary, I think it's better to say soy estadounidense. Soy estadounidense. Many times if you say soy americana, so many people will understand you. Some people will know if you mean North American and maybe you come from Canada or the United States. And some people, as you know, in Spanish, America is the whole continent. So it's much better to say soy estadounidense. Although if you say soy americana, many people will understand. So pick something else and say it in the third person, okay? For example, I want to say, Sara es italo-suiza. Sara es italo-suiza. Sara es italo-suiza. Y por ejemplo, Mary es estadounidense. Voy a escribir este. Mary es estadounidense. Pick somebody. Right, great, Emma. Leo Leo es chino. ¿De dónde es Mary? Good question, Joe. ¿De dónde es Mary? Mary, ¿de qué estado eres? Jan, good job. Jorge es español. Jorge es español. Mary, can you tell Joe where you're from? Which state? Luis, good job. Jorge es español. I know that many of you cannot write the ñ there, but that's good. Jorge es español. Mary es de California. Mary es de California. Jan es polaco. Thank you, Sarah. Good job. Jan es polaco. In Spain, we'll read that like Jan, like my name. We say Jorge because we pronounce the J this way. So, Joe es de Texas. Joe es de Texas. Gracias, Joe. Pick somebody else. Pick somebody and tell where he or she is. Cantaros es tailandesa. Thank you, Ismael. Good job. Cantaros beer es tailandesa. Muy bien. Es tailandesa. Pick somebody else. It's good to practice. Ismael, did you tell us where you are from? Ismael, ¿de dónde eres? Mary, Jorge Sibit no es tailandés porque Jorge Sibit soy yo. Lo que pasa es que he escrito eso para decir cómo se dice. Sí, Jan, yo también quería preguntar eso. ¿De dónde eres, Ismael? ¿De dónde eres? Luis es holandesa. Good job, Asma. Luis es holandesa. Jan, ¿de dónde eres? While we keep practicing this, I'm going to introduce you to one more expression that we can use. We can use ser, soy, to speak about our profession. For example, soy profesor. Soy profesor. If you want to comment, you can also tell me what you do. Like, soy profesor. So, if you want to say your profession or how to say that, just let me know. Let's practice. Mary, lo siento, no hay problema. It's my fault because I wrote like all these nationalities. So you know, soy español. Muy bien, Jan. Soy profesor de inglés. So we need to add that there. Jan es profesor de inglés. Yo soy profesor de español. Emma, ingeniero. You could also use the feminine form. Emma es ingeniera. You could use both because the feminine one is new, but I recommend you to say ingeniera. Soy gerente de cuentas. Good job, Luis. Luis es gerente de cuentas. Soy ingeniero, pero soy jubilado. Joe, good job. Mary, yo era enfermera. Using the past. Yo era enfermera. De nada, Emma. Anyone else? Yo soy profesor. Emma es ingeniera. Joe era ingeniero. Y Mary era enfermera. Era is the past tense that we haven't practiced yet. Asma, soy ingeniera. I think you want to say ingeniera, right? Asma es ingeniera. Estudiante, right, Mike? That's right. Soy estudiante, and estudiante has only one form. Soy un estudiante de relaciones internacionales. Good job. We don't need un. You could say, soy estudiante de relaciones internacionales. Noriko también era ingeniera. Noriko, ¿eres japonesa? Tu nombre es japonés, ¿verdad? Tell us where you are from, Noriko. Era ingeniera. Good job. Anyone else? Era ingeniera. Jan, yo soy profesor de inglés y Jorge es profesor de español. Mike es estudiante. ¿Y tú? Perfecto, muy buena práctica. Voy a repetirlo. Yo soy profesor de inglés y Jorge es profesor de español. Mike es estudiante. ¿Y tú? Perfecto. Muy, muy bien. Muy bien. So, while I wait, I want to answer one of the questions that I got at the beginning. So Sarah was saying that it was difficult to pronounce the J sound, like the one in my name, Jorge. And it's true. It's quite similar to the sounds in Arabic languages, because we pronounce that sound down here. So we almost close all our throat, so only a little bit of air can come out. You have to put your tongue down, look, and close, almost close all the way of the air, and just leave a little bit. The tongue is behind my teeth, and a little bit down here. Jorge, Jorge, ja, je, ji, ho, hu. We had another question about pronunciation from Mary. Mary was saying, es muy difícil para pronunciar R, la doble R. The strong R sound in Spanish is one of the most difficult because it's not a simple sound as many other sounds, as most sounds. It's actually, you're vibrating a lot. So you first have to use the right position, which is your tongue behind your teeth, as if you were going to pronounce a D, da, 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 only a little bit behind. And then you have to have quite a lot of pressure there, because you're going to maintain that position. At the same time, you throw a lot of air through your mouth. So you have to use your stomach to really throw a lot of air. If I use the position of the R, but my air is weak, there's no strong sound. So I have to keep my tongue strong and send a lot of air. But that being said, it's not something that you can do as you do with other letters, in which you just have the position. If you get to do it the same way, you get to do it. You have to practice a lot, because it's something that has to go almost automatic. I cannot control, because it's not just one sound. If I tell you to pronounce D, you just have to do it once. Da, da. Or for example, L, la, la. And R is the same, but you have to keep on vibrating your tongue. So I'm just controlling the start and the end, but of course I don't control the vibration there while I'm doing it. Mike, for you it's difficult also, the sound of the J. Mike, just try to put it down on your throat. You know when a cat gets angry and it makes like, try to practice that, and then just put a vowel there. Ha, 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 he, he. Joe, to pronounce the strong R, he's asking, it's on the topo, in the topo, sorry, on the bottom or against the teeth. It's again the teeth, up there. You cannot see it now, but it's up here, not down there, up. Like I said, like when you pronounce D, da, or when you pronounce L, la, it's just a little bit behind there. Okay? So now we'll have some time for questions. So if you have any questions about what we learned today, about pronunciation or the greetings we had, anything, just please write your question there and I'll try to answer it here. But unfortunately, I can roll the Spanish R because I'm Italian. Fortunately, yes, Mike. For Italians, it's much easier. But you don't have this sound in Italian. Oh, I didn't know. Yes, because J is pronounced in another way. Just remember maybe a cat when they make this kind of sound. It's the same, just putting more air there and then letting the vowel go out. Ha, he. Ha, he. So Laura is asking, if I want to go abroad to learn Spanish, where should I go? Well, there are many places you can go to. Of course, Spain is just one of them. There are great places where you can have lots of fun while you learn Spanish. Many people come to Madrid, but if you prefer a smaller city, you can go to Salamanca, Valencia, these kind of places. In Central America, of course, Mexico is the biggest Spanish-speaking country, and as you already know, there are very nice places there. Sorry, Colombia, of course, is a good place. Also, each country, and even inside each country, there may be some different pronunciations, but as long as you are interested in the language, it doesn't matter too much where you learn the language because it's going to be understood in other places. So I recommend that you pick a pronunciation that you like because you're going to have to stick to it at least for a while. Pick a pronunciation that you like and a place that you like where you can have fun because you're going to learn better if you are in a place that you like. That's important also. What methods would you recommend to someone who only has limited time each week? Only a few hours to learn Spanish effectively. So if you have only a few time, I'll recommend you to build a strong basis. So since you won't have much time to learn by listening or speaking to people, which is maybe one of the better ways to learn when you have time to speak to people, you want to build a strong basis. So even if you don't know how to pronounce everything, even if everything doesn't come like automatic, you still can have it in your head and learn slowly. So if you have only a few hours a month, for example, to learn, everything is gonna come slower than if you study for many hours every week. So you need patience and learn by reading also. So if you have lots of time, you can try to listen a lot and try to get Spanish from listening as well as from reading and studying. But if you have not so much time, you're gonna have to get it by reading, and of course, have someone who can help you to use that time in the best way. And Italki is one of the best places to find people that can help you. Sara, ¿cuánto tiempo puede tomar para conseguir un nivel entre B2 y B1? Exacto. This depends also in the time you invest. If you go somewhere abroad where you can speak Spanish like 10 hours a day, you're going to learn really fast. While if you can only practice for 2 hours a week, then it's going to come slower. It depends on the time you spend. And there's people who can learn faster and people who can learn slower. There's people that reach that level just by staying 3 months in a Spanish-speaking country. And it also depends on your native tongue. So it's going to take longer for somebody from Japan to reach that level than for somebody from Italy, because Spanish and Italian have a lot of similarities. Emma, gracias. So if you still have some minutes to ask some questions, if not, these are our last readings. Adios. Adios, which means goodbye. And gracias. Gracias, which means thank you. Gracias a todos. Thank you very much for joining me today. I had a lot of fun, and I hope that you also had fun. Adios, adios Emma, adios Leo, adios Luis. Luis, you can search for my Italki lessons, because my prices depend on how many lessons you book. Just one lesson or five lessons at once, but you have a very low price for the trial lesson. So you can book a trial lesson for, I think it's $7. I don't remember right now, but it's quite accessible. Adiós, Cantarose, gracias. Adiós, Asma. Adiós, Laura. Adiós, Luis. Gracias, Luis. Adiós, Sara. Gracias. Gracias a todos. Thank you very much. Gracias. Hope to see you again soon. Gracias. Adiós. Mary, ¿cómo funcionan las lecciones? Tienes que meterte en Italki, buscar un profesor, so log in Italki, search for a teacher, and then ask for a lesson. Then you agree on a time, a day and time, and then you can use Italki, Zoom, or any other way to talk to each other. You can use video, of course, and then depending on the teacher, then he will use a different method, so you can also read maybe or have homework. It's very simple. Italki is very simple and very intuitive. Yeah. Do you already have an account on Italki? Gracias, Jan. Gracias, Joe. Hasta luego. And then the lessons are normally 60 minutes. There are shorter lessons, maybe 45 minutes, 50 minutes, depending on the teacher. But it's quite easy. I recommend you to give it a try. Gracias por todo, Mary. Just visit italki.com and there is a good, very nice team who will help you create an account and book your first lesson. Okay? Gracias a todos. Me tengo que ir. Hasta muy pronto. Thank you, everybody. Bye.